Hi all, in this session we are going to learn about how to create Linux VM in Azure Cloud Computing. If you see 10 to 15 years back, the Microsoft technology is only provides the option to create Windows Server only. But right now the entire scenario has been changed. The Microsoft Azure is going to provide lot of options while we create virtual machine. Based on your requirement or your project requirement, you can be able to select which operating system you want. Here the Azure is providing lot of options related to operating system. Suppose we have n number of server operating systems are there like Windows, Linux, Red Hat, SUSE, Ubuntu. There are a lot of flavors are there. So Azure is going to support those all kinds of operating system while we creating VM. Here I am going to show it to you in a practical manner. You will get some kind of better understanding. So in these sessions, in this entire sessions, we had created a lot of VMs, but every time what I had selected Windows Server operating system. But right now in this session, while creating the VM, I am going to select the Linux operating system. How I am going to show it to you each and everything in a practical manner. The steps which I am going to follow, everything I had written in the material. Just please refer this material for your reference. And come down. Right now I'm in Azure Portal. So click on the resource group. Right now I don't have any resource group. Just click on create. RG1 review plus create. So the resource group is successfully created. So I'm going to create the virtual machine. So click on create Azure virtual machine. Here I need to select the resource group. The name of resource group is RG1. Just like how you create the Windows server, in the similar way we are also selecting the options for the Linux server as well. The only thing is image. There we are going to deploy Windows server image, but in this I am going to deploy Linux image. So here I am going to name as Linux server 1. I am going to select the Asia Pacific, Australia East as my region, and here I am going to select the no infrastructure redundancy required as a availability option of my VM, and security type I am going to select the standard image. Here you have lot of options are there. Up to now, while creating the VM, I had selected the Windows Server 2009 data center. So here along with the Windows operating system, you have lot of operating system flavors are there. Linux flavors are there like Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Red Hat Linux Enterprise 8.10, 8, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8.7, and Ubuntu Server. There are different long LTA stands for long term support. Suppose I had selected the Ubuntu Server 22.04 x64 at 64-bit Gen 2 and come down, and size as usual I am going to select the one virtual CPU and 3.5 GB RAM because of it provides some kind of less cost for me because of I am going to create this for lab purpose. And here you have the two things. Authentication type, you want to set authentication type as a SH public key or password. So if you set the SH public key, it is going to provide some kind of SH key to you. So with the help of the SH key, you can be able to connect to the VM which you are going to create. But right now I am going to set the password. So here I need to set the username. I am going to set the username as devtest928. I am going to pass the password. So here okay, and what is the remote desktop remote protocol which we are going to use for Linux machines is SSH. The port number is 22. If you are creating the Windows server, you need to enable RDP. RDP stands for remote desktop protocol and the port number is 3389. But right now we are going to create the Linux virtual machine. So for Linux machine, what the port you need to open? SSH 22. It is the default port number used for Linux mission in order to take the mission on remotely. Here I am going to enable the HTTPS as well. It is based on my requirement. So here everything as usual, these are all options you had seen multiple times, but the only thing I had changed here is image. I had selected the image as Ubuntu. Here if you want to select any other, yes, if you want to select the Ubuntu server 24.04 LTS, yes, you can. So it is purely your requirement. In real-time scenarios, majority of the companies are using Red Hat and Ubuntu only to host their applications. In real-time environment, majorly we have Linux servers only, because of the Linux servers is going to provide some kind of additional features and additional security for hosting our applications. At the same time, these Linux missions are Linux is open free, means it is openly available over internet. If you want to do some kind of customization to your Linux, then yes, how you want to modify your Linux operating system, accordingly you can make some customization, then you can use as a operating system. That feasibility has been available over the Linux. But is the same feature available for the Windows? No. Windows is purely the product of Microsoft and it is not at all free. You need to purchase a license for using the Windows operating system. That may be client OS or that may be server OS. You need to pay the amount to the Microsoft for using those operating systems. Fine. Here I just selected everything. So I'm going to select the default image, and here if you see, if you select the Windows OS, by default the image OS disk size has been taken 128 GB. But if you select the same if you select the Linux operating system, how much GB it has taken by default? 30 GB is enough. Here the Linux OS is not taking that much space like Windows operating system. Here if you want to change the disk type, I'm going to select the standard SSD in order to reduce the price, and just enable the option delete with VM. So here, just like whatever the options you will get while creating the Windows server, the same options you will get while creating the Linux server as well. The only thing is you just need to change the image. Just click on review plus create, because of these all things we had already discussed in the virtual mission sessions about different features. We had explored lot of things in that session. If you want to refer, you can refer those sessions, then you will have some kind of better understanding what are the different options which we will get while creating the virtual mission. So I just simply click on create, then it is going to create the Linux server in Azure Cloud Computing. So once it has been successfully created, I'm going to show to you the simple kind of basic Linux commands which I'm going to execute in that mission by connecting to that mission. So how we are going to connect to the Linux mission, I'm going to show to you in a practical manner. Wait guys, we need to wait until the Linux mission is successfully created. So you simply need to understand is what is the remote protocol which we need to enable in order to access the Linux mission. SSH, secure shell, is the default remote protocol which is used to access the Linux mission. For Windows it is RDP, remote desktop protocol. The port number is 3389. The SSH port number is 22. Remember guys, whenever any interview asks you a question, what is the port number of 22, you need to answer the port number is 22. And Windows protocol is RDP, the port number is 3389. Go to resource. Here if it is a Windows server, simply by clicking connect you can be able to connect, but in this scenario it is a kind of Linux server. How you will be able to connect to the Linux server? Here just click on Cloud Shell, which is appears on the top of your Azure portal. So it is going to take some time, within less than 2 minutes only, so not that much time. So here we have two things are there. We have the PowerShell is there, we have the bash script is there. So generally the PowerShell script is used for Windows mission, and coming to the bash, it is for Linux mission. Here I am going to, where right now I am in connecting terminal, Azure Cloud Shell. So everything I had there. So what I will do right now? So what is the remote protocol? So SSH sorry, SSH space. What is the username? Dev tester 928 at the rate. I need the IP address. What is the IP address? Here, just minimize a little bit. Here, this is the public IP address. You need to copy and come here, paste, enter. It is asking you to, are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. Click on yes. It is asking you, please enter the password in order to access the mission. You just need to password which you had set while creating the VM. Enter. And remember guys, while entering the password, the Linux machine is not showing anything. So here, right now, it is showing as Linux server 1, means I just access the Linux machine. Then only it is showing like this. And here, if you type ls, ll, see anything? It is going to show some kind of hidden files. If you type ls, it is showing nothing. ll is showing to show the hidden files. ls is the command which is used to show the list of files. Here, up to just now, I had created the mission. I didn't have any files. If you want to create any file or folder, what is the command? If I want to create a directory, the command is mkdir dir1. Suppose if I want to make directory, I just want to set the name of the directory is directory1. So otherwise, for your understanding, I am going to make folder1. Make directory folder1. Enter. If you type ls again, it is showing you folder1. If you want to enter into that particular directory, how you will be able to do that? cd folder, simply by typing F4 tab. Automatically it is showing all the things and enter. Right now you are inside of your folder, means inside of your directory. If you type ls, it is showing you list of files. Right now you have any files inside of the folder 1? No, I don't have any files. If you want to create any files, the command is touch file1. Enter. Suppose if you type ls, then it is showing file1. Earlier you don't have any files. Right now you have created one file. The name of the file is file1. In the similar way, if you want to create one more file, how you can be able to do that? The same command, touch file2. If you type ls, it is showing two files, file1, file2. Suppose your requirement is to write some content inside of the file. How you will do? Here I am going to mention vi file1. Here go to insert mode and hi all, good morning, or thank you for watching this session. So simply once you type your content, press escape, then it will come out of insert mode. Press semicolon WQ in order to exit from the file. So what will happen? Semicolon W, it is exit from the file by saving the file. W means write, Q means quit. Yes. Here if you want to view the content which you had written inside of the file1, the command is cat file1. Is the same content you have entered? Hi all, thank you for watching the session. Yes. In this way, this is a little bit of basic commands. How to create a directory, how to create a file, how to insert a content into the file. So there are lot of stuff which has been in the Linux. Linux is not a small thing. It's a kind of big ocean. You need to explore more about the Linux servers. So this is a simple commands. So here I'm going to provide some kind of Linux material for your knowledge. So here come down. So here I'm going to attach the Linux document. This will be useful for your reference. Just carry as a handbook. Here I am going to mention a lot of things, like we have a lot of commands. In Linux, we have a lot of commands. Remembering of all these commands is not at all easy for anyone. So even though the experienced guys who are working on the Linux environment also have a handbook, he has aware of some kind of 20 or 50 commands. But if you want to perform some kind of other complex commands, he also need to refer the material. He just need to copy and paste there. So here I had mentioned each and everything about the Linux. If you are interested, if you have the time, just please explore more about the Linux by using this material. I hope this will be definitely useful for you while you want to jump in the Linux as well. But so if you are working in a cloud, you must and should need to explore to the lot of things. You need to explore to the Windows environment, you need to explore to the Linux environment, you need to explore the lot of DevOps tools. So there are a lot of things are there. So but everything you have to touch, but there is a sign of some team is there who is purely working on the Linux environment. If you want any kind of help, you can take the help from them as well. You need to know what exactly happening, how the basic command need to be executed. So if you have any, you don't need to be expert, but you need to be good in knowledge while you are working in the any environment. So that's why I'm going to give some kind of references. How is it, how you can be able to create, what are the different types of commands are there. I'm going to provide some kind of a handbooks to you while you need to prepare yourself in order to make your perfect. Okay, so I hope this will be definitely helpful for you. So lot of commands are there. Suppose if you are interested, just please create a Linux VM and practice these commands which I had mentioned over the material. Then it will be definitely helpful for you while learning the Linux as well. So if I want to execute all these commands in these sessions, then it will be quite difficult for me. So that's why I just provided the material to you for your reference. Suppose if you are interested, please create the Linux version from your Azure portal. Once it has been created, just execute all these commands. Then you will have better understanding how the Linux flow is there. Just like how we have the commands in the Windows, in the similar way we have the commands in the Linux as well. There are a lot of commands. You need to focus on it. Okay, this is all about, guys, how to create the VM, means how to create the Linux VM in Azure. So I will meet up you in the next session with a new topic. Until signing off, thank you, bye bye.